Today we have the honor of interviewing our very own Dr. Nakia Wright for the A Woman's Voice. Choosing Tashiea and I to take this journey with you along with the remainder of our dream team. So we're going to jump in and we want the world to know about Dr. Nakia Wright. Share with our audience everything you want them to know about A Woman's Voice Matters.
A Woman's Voice Matters was birthed with the thought in mind. Bishop and I were at home. We were talking about the dynamics of the church and how many women are in the church and how many women who are in the church. 95% of most churches are filled with women, but there's still so much brokenness. So I said this, I said, babe, I once was broken. And he said, start something. So he actually came up with A Woman's Voice.
Matters apart from any other movement or women's organization that are answering needs or have decided to be an answer as well?
I believe that God has given each one of us a target audience. And for each target audience, we can all be doing the same thing, but our motives, our drive, and our reasoning can all be different.
Right.
And I think it's our motives that set us apart from everyone else. And our style, because one of the things that I charge myself with and anybody who's a part of A Woman's Voice is don't give perception. Don't give what you read. I mean, while you incorporate that in what you do, offer your truth. And most times people like to offer a portion of the truth, and a portion of your truth can't bring whole deliverance. So the thing that I think sets us apart is that we share our authentic truth, and we do it at a risk. Like when you share your truth, you risk exposure, and exposure can sometimes be extremely painful. Because while you feel like you're completely healed, listen, there are times on the journey when I will talk about something and an emotion will rise up, and I say, oh, I didn't know I still felt that. So we're all still under construction. We're still all works in progress. Our words are not because we've arrived and we're perfect. It's because we're committed and we're consistent, and consistency breeds results. And you can't stay up by yourself. We all need one another, and collectively we've just become who we are, and this has been a great journey.
Yes, and that's something that A Woman's Voice Matters does so well under your leadership. You see people, and what you do in the community, in the earth, is just so incredibly valuable. So
listen, you ladies make it easy, because while I am the chosen leader amongst the ladies, we're all equals in our own rights. The thing that I love most about serving is that God blessed me with entrepreneurs and vice presidents and, you know, critical thinkers. And why I am honored and grateful that you guys have chosen to follow me. Like, we're all leaders amongst ourselves, and it gives me great joy to walk with you all, because y'all make me better.
tell the world more about Life of Books through your marriage ministry. Tell the world more about that.
Peeling back the layers and discovering why people are unhappily married, you realize that if answers were provided, or if somebody was willing to share, somebody else who's gone through it and survived it, was willing to share their story, then they would have ammunition and answers to outlive some painful moments. So in being an answer, you don't get to pick and choose what part of your life you share. And so I just chose marriage because I enjoy it so much. The greatest title that I can carry is wife. So I share our journey loud, and oftentimes you share and become what it is you needed. And so I used to enjoy reading, and life happened, and I realized I wasn't reading as much as I used to. And I said, why did I stop? And I thought about the success that reading birthed in me, and Life of Books was birthed.
That's so good. So good. All right, well, we know what you do.
Can we talk more about who you are and as beautiful and multifaceted that you are?
Compliments.
We just wanted to find out, give us a little insight with your childhood and how your upbringing and your rearing kind of give you a perspective on marriage, life, and a woman's voice.
Good. I shared this openly for the first time a couple of weeks ago. I started dating and becoming what I hated. And one day, God just shook me by my core
and he rearranged my thinking, and he set me on a path that created a desire to want more and to want better. Oftentimes we are afraid of what better looks like, so we gravitate towards what we're used to, because we know how to navigate familiar territories. And God placed me on a journey where I was discovering who I was for the very first time. And that right there was amazing. It took me to places, uncharted places, that I would have never gone if I hadn't chosen to go there. I am the mother of 2 phenomenal kids, Kayla and Samaje. It gives me great joy to mother them. I look at it as if it was lessons.
Yeah.
And those lessons have taught me something extremely major that's given me the ability to minister and help somebody else out. So I am honored to be Kayla and Samaje's mother. And I am like overflowed to be the grandmother of Malia, aka Boss Baby Right. She's given my husband and I so much joy, and it gives me joy to see him, how so hands-on he is with her. So I have many things in life that gives me joy: being a mom, a wife. God saved me to a place where I'm able to help him produce his dream, to make sure that he's never an uninspired man, to make sure that his dreams can stay alive.
Yes.
He's a great man, and I'm honored that God saw fit and I've become Mrs. Right.
Share a little about your thoughts on covenant and commitment, and can it be taught? Can it be revived? Share a little bit about that.
When I think of covenant and commitment, I always say this: it's a choice. And your choice is extremely powerful. And whether you're just starting out or whether you've been in it in a while, if you're just starting out, you have the motivation and the freshness of your choice. And that's what drives you. Like when you experience a new moment, a new journey, you have all this energy and excitement and curiosity. And it's so easy to go after the unknown when you have the drive of excitement in you. So if you're just starting out, I always say, make sure you get marriage counseling. You can have purpose, but purpose without structure and guidance becomes destruction. And in marriage, you need mentors. You need instruction. You need someone to assist you in fortifying your love, because there are some days when you will love your husband, but you won't like him. Because at every phase in your life, even some days it's weeks. One week you one thing and the next week you the other.
That's so good.
You always have to make sure that you're compatible to the plan of your husband. And listen, there is no I in marriage. You can't get married and have an individual goal or an individual dream. We're always the team of we.
Yes, that's so good.
And listen, if you've been married for a while, I always say this: as long as God has woken you up and he is still giving you, your husband is still there with you, no matter what it was the day before, you always have the possibility to start over again. You always do. I just believe that nothing is a dead end as long as hope is still alive. So as long as you have hope and your partner has hope, listen, anything is possible. Because listen, the world will beat them up, and even themselves. Like, it's hard. I can't imagine what it is to be a man and to be able to be responsible for so much, a provider and a protector. You don't always achieve what it was you were charged to do. And I have to let you know, even in your broke down in the valley days, you're still my king. Like, greatness is still who you are. And there's nothing that you can't accomplish, even on a defeated day. So look, marriage takes work. It is a marathon, it's not a sprint. And it is something that can be, happiness is achieved over time, but it's a choice.
So good.
You use the word happily married. Now, for some, it may appear, if you're single, 3 successful ingredients to a happy marriage.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Flexibility. Many of us who are single have been around the world a couple of times. And the one thing that we come into a marriage, many of us as head of the household. And letting go the power, the authority, and the strength that you had to be in order to be the head of the household is sometimes not easy to do. Because I did not do well with that in the beginning, because I was so used to making all the choices, even though my motive was to be the best wife I could be. and to be all that my husband needs. When it came down to making decisions, I made them first and talked to him after I made them because I was used to doing that.
Yeah.
And I said this to him. I remember standing in the kitchen. I said, babe, I've been many things before, but I've never been a wife.
Wow.
So I need you to hold my hand and crawl with me some days, walk with me other days, but I need you to help me be what I've never been before. Great, so flexibility is one. Another one is, and it's like a twofold, but you cannot come into a marriage expecting him to be your everything. Because the truth of the matter, you have to come a whole, and wholeness only breeds happiness and success.
Good.
So do not depend on your partner to be your everything, because it's impossible for him to be your everything. And if you look for your partner to be your everything, he will fail you many times, and you will believe that you made the wrong choice. Well, actually, God made the right choice. You just had the wrong perspective of who he was supposed to be to you.
That's good.
So that's my second one. And the last one would be confident. Because many times we fight for what's already ours. Be confident in the fact that your Mrs. Right. Be confident in that. He had enough courage to give you his last name. Stop fighting for what's already yours.
That's good. That is so good.
Look at that.
So, what is next for Dr. Nakia Wright? What do you have planned for 2020?
Listen, so I shared with you about what is on paper for A Woman's Voice Matters. One of the things that was supposed to be one moment that has birthed into several moments is something called the Promise Circle. And it is something that one of my girlfriends, Lady Kim Lee King, wrote a book called Brain Beauty. And me on this journey of reading books and life of books, I said, okay, the only thing I want for my birthday this year is for me to do your life of books before your book come out. I want to help you with your book launch. And she said, yes, lady, that's so good. Is it just going to be me and you? And I said, do you trust me? And she said, yes. I said, I'm going to handpick some women who are also married to pastors that I believe will birth a great moment for you. From that life of books moment, we had so many requests and so much feedback, we created another moment. So needless to say, the Promise Circle has like a tour coming up.
I love it.
So I'm excited about that. I'm grateful to share the journey. Unless you are married to a pastor, you never know what it is like to be a pastor's wife. And to share this journey with women who are also married to giants in the earth. So just keep a lookout for the Promise Circle and some community-oriented events and working with the county and whatever it is that my leader has for us to do. Like, we're charged with something here at the gathering. And I'm just open and excited and waiting for instruction to him to tell us what our next is. So,
I love it. So how do we keep in touch with you? How do we keep up with Dr. Nakia Wright?
Follow me on social media. All of my handles, I'm either Lady Nakia Wright on Instagram, I am Nakia Wright on Facebook, Lady Nakia Wright on Periscope, because people still use Periscope, guys. I know y'all don't think so, but it's not my space yet. So just follow me on social media. If I'm doing something, I always post on there. And if you're not doing so, please follow our webpage, www.awvm.online.
Well, thank you for sharing all of who you are and any parting words.
It's easy to be an individual, but you can only be a success collectively. And I will say to anyone, while individuality feels safe and it feels like you don't have to be accountable, if you ever are hoping to achieve success, you have to link to successful people. And in the kingdom, which is my target audience, no one can be a success alone. So whatever it takes to bring out, to birth, to produce the best you, do it so that you can be an asset to somebody else, so you can link to greatness. And whatever the thing that you were called to do in the earth would be manifested.